again. Welcome back to another Leroy West broadcast. Please subscribe. Please subscribe if you hadn't. God bless you. I want to say this right here. Many of you are sitting on a gold mine. You are sitting on a gold mine. You are sitting on a gold mine and you don't know it. You're sitting on a gold mine, and what's happening is that the enemy, your emotions, the enemy, your soul, wants you to sell it. Wants you to sell the very thing that is valuable and so precious. It's so precious. It's so precious. You're sitting on a gold mine, and if I can say this, your pain is your deposit. Your pain is your deposit, and that deposit has come to full term. You hear what I'm saying? That deposit of rejection, that deposit of suffering, that deposit of hurt, all that, the times you buried, you suffered, you did without when others were able to do. Those times when you're silent, when you should have talked, those times, those are deposits, those situations, and even in those situations where you felt it was unfair, where you felt like certain people got the best of you, you felt like certain people got the best of the situation, that was your deposit. And so you feel like you wasted your time. You feel like you're not valuable. You feel like things that God has spoken to you because of your condition and because of what you've been through. You think that God is not going to come to you. You think that God is not going to handle it. You think that God is not going to fix the situation. And so because of that, you keep thinking about it. You keep thinking about the situation. You keep thinking about what, when, how, God, when are you going to? But let me tell you something. What you need to do. First of all, what you need to do, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story on what God is doing. On what God is doing in your life, what God is doing in the believer's life, what God is about to reveal. See, because God has given you something. God has given you something that He hadn't given to everybody else. God has given you something. God has given you something. God has given you something. And the thing about it, you thought it was unfortunate. You thought it was unfortunate because it started many years ago. And you lost a lot. You gave up a lot to have what you have, to be where you are, to be in the situation you're in, to be with the person you're with. And so you're at a place where you want to turn it all in. You want to turn it all in because you don't think that it has no value. You think you don't waste your time. You think that she's done waste your time. You think that he done waste your time. And so you feel like this pain is useless. And you don't want this pain no more. And you feel like you sacrificed, you did all this for nothing. You feel like you don't waste your time. You feel like you're wasting your time. And some of you, you've been separated. You've been separated by 5 years. And in the time of separation, you've kept yourself. Hadn't been with nobody. Hadn't slept around. You've been to yourself. You've been trying to do what's right. You've been trying to say what's right, and you've been trying to act right. And you want to act wrong. You want to do wrong. You want to say a whole lot of stuff. You want to do a whole lot of stuff because you want to get back. You want to do all that stuff, but you've been keeping yourself. You've been trying to be good. You've been trying. See, but you've been trying. See, but let me tell you something. God know. But don't do nothing. Don't retaliate. Don't respond. Don't respond. Just know that those deposits, they have names. Those tears, you need to know that those tears, they have there's a deposit. And see, the thing about it, with deposit, there's interest. And see, what brings interest is time. Just like if you go to the bank and you want to try to make your money grow. You want to make your money grow, and you want to put a CD or something like that. You want to get a certain kind of interest. You got to stay for 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. And so, what you putting in and what you put in is carrying interest. What you put down, it's carrying interest. And the thing about it, God knows the expiration date. When God knows when it's going to come to full term. God knows when it's going to come to full term. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. There's a famine that's taking place. There is a famine that's taking place in this land right now. The Bible shares this, and the Bible expressed this. The Bible said, in the last days there will be a famine in the land, not of natural bread and not of natural water, but of hearing of the word of God. There will be a famine where people will ever hearing but never learning, never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Can't hear the word. When you look at the book, you look at the word like a storybook. You can't hear it because you're looking at the book just as a book, but you can't feel the life. God can't grab you. And so many people are dry. Many people are dry. And so let me tell you a story about this young boy named Joseph. Now, this young boy named Joseph, he was the youngest of the siblings, the youngest of the siblings, and he was the youngest, and he was one of the youngest, and he was the father's favorite son. And the crazy thing about it, Joseph was gifted. He was a dreamer. And many of you, you're a dreamer. And see, Joseph was a dreamer. And say, well, ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. But what happened to Joseph? Joseph dreaming. But when Joseph told his dream, he should have kept quiet. Because when Joseph told his dreams, his brothers, the ones that you thought would have his back, that want to see him be successful, see him go forward, see him do good things, they despised him. And as a matter of fact, they had plotted, they had planned a plot, they had made a plot, they had orchestrated a plot to silence him, to kill him, put him in a hole. Many of you, this is your lot. Folk, people, situations. Because you're gifted. And see the problem. What the problem was, you open your mouth. You shouldn't have said nothing. You shouldn't have prophesied. You shouldn't have laid hands. You shouldn't have done none of that. But because when you done that, they was watching you. They was watching you. And so many people, they set traps for you. They tried to kill you. They tried to silence you. They tried to assassinate your character. They tried to talk about, say you did this and did that and all that. That was true. But all they was just they wanted what you had. And so they didn't have it. And so because they didn't have it, they wanted to destroy what you had. True up, ain't it? Yeah, I understand. And see, but this is you. They've been trying to get you. Left you there. See, but the thing about it, God had favor over you. See, there was favor upon your head. There was favor upon your life. And so because of that, They might have tried to get you. They might have tried to hurt you. See, but God had you covered and God had you protected, just like with Joseph. See, Joseph, they was going to leave him in the pit. They left him in the pit to die, but then they decided to sell him as a slave. And then he ended up in the king's house. Then what happened? Because of God's favor, to make a long story short, he became the #1 king's man. And so you need to understand and realize and recognize, see, people have been trying to push you down. They've been trying to keep it quiet. See, let me tell you something. But what God has for you, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And let me tell you something. The same people, and the same people that tried to get in your way, the same people that tried to block you, the same people that did what they did, and you ain't know why. Those same people that hated on you, the same ones that was looking and talking, God's going to allow, and God's going to cause them to keep looking. God's going to cause them to keep looking with their mouth open as he elevate you. And it's to let them know what God can do to someone that they thought wasn't good enough. And so because people done told you and you felt that way, that you weren't good enough. See, but the thing about it, what man reject, God select. And you need to understand and realize whom God calls, he qualifies. You need to realize that whom God called, he qualified. See, but you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on a gold mine. You are sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on something great, and you're sitting on something big. That's why there's so much attack. That's why people talk about you. See, that's why people even try to copy your messages. They try to even emulate you. See, the reason why they're trying to emulate your message is because they want to be like you. They want to talk like you. They want to do things like you. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Just look at it that way. Just a mindset adjustment. That's all. A mindset adjustment. And so, but God is elevating you for such a time as this. And so you don't even see it. You don't even see it. And so he's elevating you. He's elevating you. He's elevating you quietly. He's elevating you silently. Why no one is around? And so you're not the person. You're not the person. You're not into people looking at you anyway. You're not into the popular crowd anyway. You're not after the fanfare. You're not trying to get a pat on the back anyway. Your desire and your hope and your dream is just to please God. That's all. You just want to please God. You just want to magnify. You just want to satisfy. You just want to get to a place when it's all said and done, where God says, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Now let me tell you, now with Joseph, this king had a dream. This king had a dream, and Joseph was the number one man in charge. And the reason why, the number why beside the king, the number why he became caught beside the king, because he knew how to interpret dreams, because he had a gift. And so that gift took him to the palace. It took him to the palace. And the king had a dream. And in this dream, there was going to be a famine. There's going to be a famine. And so Joseph was able to interpret the dream and said that there was going to be a famine. And so there was going to be a 7 year of plenteous, and there's going to be a 7 year famine. And so what Joseph instructed was, and what you do in a time of plenteous, just store up. That when famine time comes, when everybody don't have nothing, you got it all. And they got to come to your house. They got to come to your house. And so hear what I'm saying. And so this is what happened. Where Joseph, at one time, he was in the pit, about to die because he had a dream. But that dream got him to a place where he was positioned to get inside the ears of a king. And so, get inside of the ears of a king. And so this is what God is doing with many of you. When people try to destroy you, when they try to knock you down, and see what was happening inside of you, there was something that God had given you. There was something that God was teaching you. When you wanted to speak, when you wanted to do certain things, but God said, be quiet. God said, don't say nothing. Keep it to yourself. And so in you keeping it to yourself, and you being by yourself in that quiet, in that secret place, what God was doing, God was birthing greatness. See, God was birthing something out of you. And see the thing about it, He's birthing it out now. At the place where you are right now, at the worst time of your life, at the worst time of your situation, God allowed, He'll allow way back for you to deposit some seeds of joy, some seeds of love, some seeds of happiness. Let me explain it to you. Let me tell you something. Now let me tell you something. I'm 53 years old. I'm 53 years old. When my wife was pregnant with Abigail. At the time I was depressed because Daniel was had left, mad, angry, depressed, angry. And what we were talking, we was thinking, and God moved upon me, name Abigail. And then I discovered that Abigail means father's joy. But now God was letting me know that He was birthing joy out of me silently while I was bound, while I was depressed. And so as I was going on in my depression, my deliverance was growing too. And so at the appointed time, when I got to a place, at my worst place, where I was about to blow my top, where I was about to explode, where I was about to throw in the towel, and in one moment, in one situation, God snatched it all. He snatched it all because I had a child. And see, when Abigail was born, what happened? Whatever that was riding me, whatever I was feeling, whatever was in my past, whatever I've been dealing with for years, whatever I've been dealing with through the depression and through the working and through blaming folk for not helping with my son and upset it, and all that, God broke it. And so I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. One word, God is gonna send you a word, and that word is gonna break it. Whatever you're holding on to, whatever that you can't loose, one word. Just like who was it? Peter. Peter saw Jesus walk in the water, and Peter said, "If it be you, Lord, bid me to come." And Jesus said, "Come." And on that one word, even though it was a storm, even though there was water, he defied both of those things. He ignored both of those things, and he was drawn by the word. And that word caused him to walk the water. And so I say to you, your answer, all you need is the word. All that crazy stuff, all the stuff you're going through, One word is going to break it. You know what I'm saying? One word. That's all you need. God bless you.